All right, young one.
Hello.
So, yeah, I may try to do some stuff about your cause, but I'm not going to promise.
No, no worries. No worries.
Just too many things,
Every
too many,
we are
too
taking
many
steps
fires.
forward, and that's all we can do. And so anything you can do is greatly appreciated. But we'll talk separately about this. But anyway, when we come into funding, we
I,
know who has helped us.
dear Heavenly Father, please keep that in your stone tablet because I don't
Yeah,
want to win a lot of money like a lottery, but I live on very little. I mean, we talked about it in one show. It's several
yeah.
$1,000s below the poverty line.
Yes. Yes. And it's hard these days. I think it's hard because
Well,
everything, inflation.
prices are going up every month, every
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
and the Social Security sure as hell doesn't.
right,
Some months I have to choose about whether to breathe in or breathe out.
right,
Got
right.
to choose
It's
between food and medicine and rent and
right,
heating bill and
right.
and then all the creditors from past medical because I've been in the hospital a lot.
Hmm.
I have 4 or 5 collection agencies, that are after me for some kind of a payment for I've been in the hospital probably 15, 20 times over my, you know. So I just
Yeah,
do what I can.
right. But I long for the day, Mark Isaac, when we have universal health care or single payer health care.
With this
Because
administration, that looks like it's going to be farther and farther away.
yeah, yeah, that's true. It with all of the control over the administration like what we have, it doesn't seem attainable
Well, and
right now,
I read
but
about
it's
it, and
something
there's
that
so
I
much.
will not stop visualizing. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so did I tell you about the people who don't have clean water down the Central Valley?
No, but it sounds like a delightful thing to talk about, given that they don't have clean water. We should publicize that.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
some
it's
jackass in the government somewhere would care.
it's there's a State Water Resources Control Board, and they engage communities, small communities, marginalized communities who are out in the Central Valley. They were primarily agricultural uh, places, and the groundwater is so polluted that if they turn on their tap water, they can light it
Now, can
ablaze.
you tell us what small village might be near there so we can just get a sense of where in the Central Valley?
So let's see. I think one of them was called Allenstown. Allenstown. And so this was Allenstown, California. So one of them is Allenstown, and it is in, let me see where that would be. I'm trying to find some place that
You want me to look it up on the internet?
we would know. Ellensworth. It's no, it's
Well, you're
okay.
trying to.
So it's early over there by in Kern County, Allenstown.
Okay,
And
that gives us good
so
enough. Yeah.
there are other ones though, and we used to engage them when I worked at the Water Resources Control Board. So let me see, small agricultural um communities. And it was what was sad is that if I hadn't worked there, I would not have known
Yeah.
of the need and how in our very own backyard, um it's there is a shortage of clean water.
Right.
And they're also no, no, no. Watsonville is, yeah. There, these are other areas that,
Watsonville has water problems?
no, not really. They're these are the towns that I'm talking about are down the central. Valley. I'll look some up for you so that next time I
All
can
right.
tell you about it. I don't
Please
want
do
to.
that because that sounds like something we should try to be telling the public about.
Correct. And I was shocked that none of us had known. It's nothing ever publicized on the news, talked about,
Well,
and it's here in our own.
is it your sense that there are what 10, 20, 30 small villages in the state of California that don't have clean water or more?
Probably 10 to 30. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And the problem
Okay.
is this. So I live in Sacramento, and it's a huge city, community, county, and our water system is divided, the cost is divided amongst all the residents of this area. But when you have a small community, like one of those down the Central Valley that has 200 residents, and they are not connected to a clean water filtration plant,
Right.
they've got to join. It's called they've got to combine with this big community, but they have to pay a certain amount, which is usually way more than any family has money to pay for, to be included in that water system.
Okay.
And so that's the problem. When I was working at the State Water Resources Control Board, there were people, communities where water was brought in, bottled water, because they could not drink
Yeah.
or even boil it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's through agriculture, and a lot of the groundwater pollutants were like arsenic, metals, heavy metals, and not the rock band, heavy metal rock.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And it was just shocking to me that I didn't know this, and that the public should know this, but
Yeah.
we don't, right? So then these are those concerns that, as a resident here, that we have our neighbors who are suffering, and their kids can't play in the water like we can. I mean, just it's a whole quality of life that's suffering there.
Right. Right. No, I hear you. And you think some of these villages are so poor they just can't afford the fee to the larger nearby city. Like they just don't pay it because
Correct.
they can't afford it.
Correct. Correct.
So maybe we need to have state legislation that would subsidize those fees or what?
I mean, that would be good, but I think what's happening is that the restoration of the grounds would fall on the farmers who polluted the grounds.
Yeah, but
And
I
so
don't I don't know
there
a lot
should
of
be a
polluters.
subsidy, I think. I mean, that would make sense, right? To give a subsidy to allow for
I think the
the
subsidy would be
joining.
a more immediate, if you can pardon the expression, given it'll take 40 years for the goddamn legislature to pass it. But the farmers, I don't know a lot of
Right.
polluters that want to turn around and unpollute or depollute. You know, the
It,
big
it would
oil
it's
companies are not standing on a mountain going, "We want to be better."
right.
They're mostly just
Unfortunately, their profit margin is more important than public safety.
yes, by far.
Yes, yes. And that
And
is the
we're,
problem with the corporate state, is
yep,
that it's all driven by profit,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the people who have worked for them, who have given their blood, sweat, and tears, quite literally, are suffering, and they haven't taken responsibility to want to remediate the earth or the effects of their pollution on the
Well,
environment.
and yeah, the interesting thing about greed is that it seems to be like a downhill snowball. The more money you have, it doesn't like satisfy you or ameliorate the greed. It just makes it worse.
Yes.
I mean, Elon Musk recently became the world's first trillionaire. And if I tried to describe to anybody what $1 trillion is, I mean, someone on TikTok was saying he could buy all the athletic teams in the world, football, baseball, everything, and still have money left over, or he could buy it's just an obscene amount of money. And so why someone who's a millionaire wants to be a billionaire, somebody worth 1 billion wants to be worth 50 billion. It just the greed, the nature of greed is so insidious.
I think it's an
You
addiction.
know, I
I
don't
see it
understand.
in the disease
Well,
model
do
as an
you? Okay.
addiction and as a
All right.
whole that can never be satiated.
There's just something about, I don't think capitalism is the worst system, but we need to find a system that's like capitalism 3.0 or something that just kind of puts a check and balance on these people. Because I saw something on the internet the other day that
Yeah,
When Eisenhower was president, the taxing of the rich was 80%,
of
80.
course.
And
Makes
now it's
sense.
like 1.2% or something.
I pay more taxes than they do in many, many cases.
Yeah, no, they get away with paying nothing. And most of the big companies, especially the oil companies, not just do not pay taxes, they get hundreds of millions of dollars in subsidies.
Subsidies, the corporate welfare.
We have to put a new oil well out in this part of the ocean, and
Right,
we're going to have to pay money to find out whether the Baba Ba whale is going to be endangered, and we need 500 million to do that. I mean, it's just so
right.
backward. It's so ridiculous.
It
So,
is.
and
It
they've
is,
got
and
so much power.
it's
Yeah.
it's worrisome. I recently we went camping, and my husband Robert is a fisherman, and he caught fish. Well,
Okay.
he gave one fish to one group and another fish to this other group. They were Russian,
Right.
and they were talking. They're here from Russia. They're doing very, very well, have businesses, and
Right.
the
Right.
whole American dream, if you will.
Right. Right.
But they asked, do you love capitalism? And I was
Right.
like, I said, my experience with capitalism is that it serves the upper crust of the
Yes.
wealthy,
Yes.
and the rest of us struggle for the crumbs that are left.
That's
That
right.
is my impression. And
Yes.
my definition of capitalism is that.
Well, and the
And
other the other part of it is Reagan tried to sell us this trickle down theory, which
uh,
never it doesn't, I mean, someone like me that lives on $2,000 a month, if I've been trying to tell LinkedIn I need a part-time job like 4 to 6 hours a week because that's all I could physically do.
yeah,
But if I had another $200 in any given month, it would really help, it would really help that month
yes,
to keep the pantry full or something very
right,
practical, or pay against my medical.
right,
I mean,
right,
and there's
yeah.
people out there doing a lot worse than me, so
Yeah, but it's the struggle is with all of us, I think. All of us
yeah.
who do not exist where those upper crust wealthy do.
Well, yeah, the things that we worry about and think about, the places they go to, the ideas they have in their head are a completely different world from what we do. Like if I buy clothes, I always go to Goodwill or Dollar Tree or, I would never
Me too.
consider walking into a store like Target or Sears and buying a new anything.
Yeah,
One day years ago, I walked into a Safeway because I was living on the food bank, and I walked into this Safeway and I went, I haven't been in a Safeway in about 20 years.
right.
And I just stood there and kind of looked around and went, my God, look at this place. Because
Yeah,
every month I would get the stuff from the food bank. I
right.
would go home. I had this like, I don't know, 20 or 12 quart pot. I would make it just a big pot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I had turned the bottom of the refrigerator, telling this so people know what poor people live like. I turned the bottom of the refrigerator into a freezer by freezing stuff
Mm,
in the freezer, and then putting all
Yeah,
of them in the bottom until it turned the bottom into a freezer. I
nice.
would make this one pot of food, and I would put that big pot in the bottom, which was now a freezer,
Right,
and then I would have rice over it, and that was what I ate all month.
right, right.
You know,
Yep, yep. Those are the struggles. I
that's how
recently
we
had
live. Yeah.
had a car registration due,
Hmm.
and I couldn't pay it on time. Not
Right.
because I was being irresponsible, because it doesn't fit in the
Yes.
budget. It's one of
Yes.
those extra fees,
Yes.
extra amounts
And then
that
they
is
fine you for not
significant.
being on time, so then you got to pay more.
Right. And so that's what I really I was born into this system, but I don't agree with it or the way it encourages greed.
Yeah. Well, I had a used car years ago, and of course, I bought it used and tried to keep it up, and then something more major happened, and I took it to the repair guy, and he said, "Well, it's the transmission. It's going to be $3 or $4,000." And I said,
Right.
"Just junk it,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
okay." And of course, he wanted
Exactly.
to charge me to junk it, so I wound up giving it to Cars for Kids
Good.
because they
Good.
would
Good.
take it without a fee.
We've
So
done that a few times, donated cars because the repairs
yeah,
exceeded the value.
outweigh the yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So,
I'm tired. I'm going to stop if you don't
okay.
mind. God bless you for what you're doing, folks. Did you give us? I don't think this show you gave us your phone number.
I have not. Please call us at Alternative Housing Alliance at 530-488-9768. 530-488-9768. Give us a buzz. Let's talk housing, and let's talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. But all paths must lead to housing. Okay, God
God
bless you
bless
all.
you.
Take care, brother.
Take care. God bless you. Take care of yourself.
And I will talk to you soon.
Yes.
You too.